I never imagined that a simple dinner, just one ordinary family meal, would expose everything that had been rotting beneath the surface of my household for years. It all started the night my family ate steak and gave me leftovers. But by dawn, the entire house was drowning in panic, fear, and guilt. And for once, none of it was mine. My name is Eleanor Hayes, the middle daughter in a household where being invisible wasn't just a feeling. It was a role assigned to me long before I understood what roles were. Growing up between a perfect elder sister and an adored younger brother meant I became the convenient one, the quiet one, the one who didn't ask for much. My parents called it being independent. I called it being forgotten. The night everything changed began just like every other night, me trying not to be a burden. The kitchen smelled like butter, garlic, and expensive meat, my father's signature steak night. He made it only on special occasions like promotions, anniversaries, or when he wanted the family to feel close. But that closeness never included me. When I walked in, they were all already seated. Mom giggling over a glass of wine. Dad cutting into his medium-rare steak. My sister Hannah scrolling through her phone with perfect makeup even at home. And my brother Caleb, the golden boy, devouring his plate like he had been starving for weeks. The table was full, except for my spot. I stood there awkwardly for a second before Mom looked up, startled. "Oh, Ellie, we didn't know you'd be home tonight," she said, although she knew I always came home after my late shift on Fridays. "I told you all yesterday," I reminded her softly. Dad didn't even look up. "There's leftovers in the fridge, you can heat something." Leftovers again. It wasn't the food that hurt, it was the message. They had cooked a full family dinner and never even set a plate for me. Hannah snickered. "There's some pasta from 2 days ago. You like that mushy stuff anyway." Caleb added with a laugh, "Just be happy you don't have to sit through Dad's lectures at the table." They all chuckled, except me. I swallowed the ache in my throat, forced a small smile and whispered, "Thanks." I grabbed the cold container of soggy pasta and ate alone at the kitchen counter while they enjoyed a warm, juicy meal behind me. I pretended it didn't matter. I'd become an expert at pretending. But that night something shifted inside me, a tiny spark, a whisper, "You deserve better than this." I went to bed quietly and tried to sleep, unaware that just a few hours later, my entire family would be screaming my name, banging on my door and begging me to come out. It was around 5 a.m. when I heard the first scream. At first I thought I was dreaming, but when the second scream came, raw, terrified, it jolted me awake. I sat up in bed, dizzy and confused. Then I heard Mom's voice, shrill and panicked. "Eleanor, wake up, where is it?" I frowned and opened my door. The hallway lights were on. Hannah was crying, barefoot, running from room to room. "It's gone," she sobbed. "It's actually gone." Dad was yelling at Caleb downstairs. "How could this happen? This can't be real. Someone took it." Mom spotted me at the top of the stairs and ran toward me like she hadn't ignored me for years. "Ellie, please tell me you saw something. Tell me you know where it is." "Where what is?" I asked, still half sleeping. My bracelet," she wailed. I blinked. "Bracelet, the gold one." She grabbed my arms tightly. Not just any bracelet, the diamond family bracelet, the one that's been passed down for generations. It was in my drawer last night and now it's missing. I stared at her. That bracelet's value was insane, both sentimental and monetary. She guarded it like her life depended on it. Dad stormed up the stairs. "This is serious, Eleanor. Someone was in our rooms last night. Did you hear anyone, see anything, anything at all?" His tone wasn't loving. It wasn't worried for me. It was accusatory. I felt a cold slide down my spine. "You think I stole it?" I whispered. No one answered. Hannah wiped her tears. "Well, you were the last one upstairs last night." Caleb nodded. "And you do need money, don't you?" My mouth fell open. I work 2 jobs, I'm saving for college. That doesn't mean I'd steal from my own family. But their silence screamed louder than words. They thought I did it. They genuinely believed I, who ate leftovers at the counter, had suddenly become capable of stealing an heirloom worth thousands. That tiny spark inside me from last night flared into something stronger, something sharper. I looked each of them in the eye. I didn't take anything. But they didn't believe me. I could see it in their faces, the doubt, the assumptions, the way it was easier for them to blame the invisible one. Dad ran a hand through his hair. We should check her room. I froze. You want to search my room? Mom whispered, we just need to make sure. Hannah added softly, you'd understand if you weren't so dramatic all the time. Caleb shrugged, it'll only take a minute. My throat tightened, not because they wanted to search my room, but because none of them trusted me enough not to. Dad stepped toward my door. And at that moment, something inside me broke. Stop, I shouted, louder than I'd ever shouted in my life. They all froze. Dad frowned, Eleanor. You think I'm a thief, after everything, after years of being treated like I'm not even part of this family, you think I'd steal a bracelet. Mom whispered, we just need to be sure. I exhaled slowly. Fine. They looked confused. If you want to search my room, I said coldly, you can, but after this I'm done with all of you. Mom's face fell, Ellie. I stepped back, opened my bedroom door wide and gestured inside. Go ahead, tear it apart. They hesitated for a moment, then walked inside. They tore through my closet, my drawers, my desk, even my laundry basket. Nothing. Because of course there was nothing. After 10 long minutes, Dad finally admitted quietly, it's not here. I crossed my arms, obviously. But their panic didn't stop. They searched the entire house. Arguments erupted. Accusations flew in every direction. Caleb blamed Hannah. Hannah blamed Dad. Dad blamed Mom. Mom cried and blamed all 3 of them. I just stood there, watching the chaos like a stranger in my own home. Then around 7 a.m., something unbelievable happened. The bracelet was found. By the neighbor's dog. Mrs. Langley, the elderly woman next door, knocked on our door holding the bracelet in her hand. My dog dug this up near your backyard fence, she said gently. I think someone may have dropped it outside. Dad looked like the ground had vanished beneath him. Mom's face turned ghost white. They all stared at each other in horror. Because the only people who had been in the backyard last night were them. They had laughed, eaten steak, thrown out scraps. Including, apparently, the bracelet Mom had taken off because it was tight during dinner. She had forgotten it outside. The bracelet hadn't been stolen. It had been misplaced. By them. Every head slowly turned toward me. Hannah opened her mouth, Ellie Weir. I cut her off. No, don't apologize. Mom's eyes filled with tears. Sweetheart, we jumped to conclusions, but we were scared and… You didn't jump to conclusions, I said quietly. You jumped to me. Dad stepped forward. Eleanor, please. I shook my head. Last night you forgot to set me a plate. This morning you accused me of stealing. You think I don't notice how you all treat me, like an afterthought, like a burden, like someone who should be grateful for leftovers. They were leftovers from dinner, not leftovers from your hearts, but both felt the same. Silence swallowed the room. Finally, Dad whispered, "What do you want us to do?" I picked up my small suitcase from the hallway, the one I kept packed for emergencies. "I'm leaving." Mom gasped, "For how long?" "I don't know," I said honestly, "but I'm done living in a home where love has conditions and trust has limits." They all stared at me, shocked, desperate, guilty. But I didn't look back. I walked out of the house that morning with dawn light on my face and freedom in my chest. Not because they pushed me away, but because I finally chose myself. And sometimes, choosing yourself is the beginning of everything you ever deserve.